Hello again, YouTubers. Mean03 here again of eBay and YouTube, and owner of CardFightCapital.com, and coming soon is TheGameCapital.com, which will be replacing ToyGameAndEmporium.com. For today's video, we have a tutorial on how to play feature card Buddyfight. My wife here, PenguinTrick86, is joining me. We'll be teaching her along the way, and you guys will help you learn while she learns, basically. So this will be a learning experience for everybody, and well, let's get started here. So first of all, each player draws 6 cards for their opening hand. So we'll do that right away and draw our 6. And if you're in a tournament or playing against someone competitively or whatever, you'll shuffle your decks first, which we did off camera, and offer your opponent to cut and all that good stuff. Once you have your hand of 6 cards, top 2 cards from your deck will be placed face down into your gauge. And these will be used for other abilities and stuff. We'll explain that a little bit more later. And then just a few basic rules to get you guys started. Each player starts with 10 life points, as shown on the gauge here. And then it's got a sliding scale, which can actually be flipped around and goes up to 20. So there are cards that help you gain life. I think there'll be more cards like that as more cards are released. There's limited ways to gain life in these trial decks, but it is a possibility, so you can go above 10. Monsters can be called to any circle, well, hexagon I guess that is, right?
Sure.
Hex, 6. Hexagons, I believe. That at the top there, the monsters have a size. It's either 0, 1, 2, or 3. The size of all your monsters in the field cannot surpass 3. So you have 3 monsters of size 1, 1 of size 2, and 1 of size 1 for a total of 3, or 1 monster of size 3. The Danger World deck, which PenguinTrick86 is using, actually has a grade 0 monster, size 0. So she could have a size 3 and a size 0, for instance. So I'm using Dominant Dragons, the Dragon World deck, and she is using Savage Steel, the Danger World deck. There's also a Magic World, which will be in the first booster set, which releases on January 31st. And if you're interested in trial decks or booster boxes, we have them on CardFightCapital.com right now. They may move to TheGameCapital.com once we launch that site in a few weeks. So once you know all that, you're ready to start. And to start the game, you shout, as the rulebook says, raise the flag. And you flip over your flag and your buddy. And your buddy, in the game you can buddy call. To buddy call, you need a copy of that same buddy in your hand. The trial decks also have one card called My Buddy, which acts kind of like as a placeholder for it, which can still be used to buddy call. So this isn't it, but just say this was the same card as My Buddy. I play it face up, but it's not that. So this is an example. I would play it sideways like that, and I would then call my buddy to the field to any circle that I want. My buddy has a call cost of paying 2 gauge. I would still have to pay that, so these 2 cards will go to the drop zone. And when you buddy call, you gain 1 life. So that is how that works, if I got it correctly. If anything I say is wrong, you guys have any questions at the end, leave a comment and I'll respond to as many of you as I can. So I'll be going first. If you go first, you do not draw a card. However, I can play a card from my hand into my gauge zone, which I will do. And I will choose this one to put in my gauge, and then I draw a card. So you can still draw a card going first in a way. And I think I want to do some early damage here before things get too cray-cray.
How dare you.
So I'm going to play a size 2 monster to the field. If you're going first, you can only attack with 1 monster. So I'm going to make a count, and that's how it's set up here. The red number is their attack power, the blue number is their defensive power, and the white number is their critical power. If attacking a monster, the red number matters on offense and the blue number on defense. If you're attacking them directly, then the white critical number matters, and that's how you reduce their life points. Since I would say it's my first turn, she hasn't had a turn yet, she has no monsters in the way. Otherwise, if a monster was here, I would not be able to attack her directly. Obviously there is not, so I declare my attack on you, your flag, and I have a critical of 3. So unless you have some sort of spell or something in your hand that can stop it. And again, PenguinTrick86 is learning this along with you guys, basically, so she'll show me cards and stuff throughout the match, through the game, asking if it's a good thing to do or if it's playable, and we'll explain as necessary with you guys as well.
Okay, that's a possibility there. That one's not. That one is not based on my next one.
So what spell card do we have here? So one spell card in our hand is Battle Aura Circle. You may only cast this card during an attack on your opponent's turn, which it is. And if you do not have a monster in the center, which obviously it does not, as a counter, it nullifies the attack. So she has the option of playing that, and she would then not take any damage. Would you like to play that card?
Why not?
Alright, so then you just declare I'm playing this spell.
I'm playing this spell.
Which, what the counter nullifies my attack, and then that card is used up and goes to the drop zone. So she stays at 10, my monster is tapped from being used, and she survives the first turn unscathed. So it is then her turn. She does get to draw a card. It's her first turn, but she's not going first, so she gets to draw.
It's actually because I'm better than you. But...
And she has the option of playing one card to her gauge to then draw a new card.
Yes, which I want to do. Let's see.
And while she thinks about that, I'll explain to you guys too. There are items that can be equipped to you / your flag. You only need one of those, so if you have, for instance, 2 or 3 items in your hand, it's probably a good idea to put an item in there. If you have a bunch of the same monster, 2 of the same impact cards, stuff like that, are good ones to gauge. Obviously, we won't know what she gauged. If she wants to show the camera what she did, that's up to her, but it doesn't matter too much. I gauged that, even though I don't have another one in my hand. It's not my better option of those. And she is playing a size 3 monster out of the gates here. And he has a call cost of paying 3 gauge, which is all of her gauge. So that limits her options, at least in the short term. Very well.
I like to have a defense.
And his defensive power is 8,000. So that's going to be hard to get through, and it's going to require a link attack, which I'll explain momentarily.
Let's see.
So she's in her main phase now, where she can play another monster, which she can't play anymore now.
It's a 0.
Right. If you have a 0, you can still play that because you won't go over a total size of 3. She can also equip an item, but if she were to equip an item, she wouldn't be able to attack with it since there's a monster in her circle. You'd basically be attacking him in the back. It's not a good idea.
Can I still gauge things?
You've already done your gauge for the turn.
Okay.
Once per turn, you can gauge and draw a new card.
Okay,
I think there are some cards that are coming out in the first booster set where they have abilities that let you get extra gauges and stuff in, but the trial decks, from what I've seen at least, there are not any cards that will let you get extra gauges.
Well, I need gauges or no guy in the middle for the rest of my cards, so I guess I am done for this turn.
Okay.
Right?
For your main phase, you're
For my
done.
main phase.
So now you enter your attack phase.
So I can attack...
So right now your only option is to attack my
This
monster.
guy. Right.
If he was over here, she
Then
could
I
attack
could
him,
attack, yeah.
or she could attack my flag directly, because only the monster in the center really defends you.
Okay, well, I will attack your guy.
Okay, so her power is 9,000, and my defense is 4,000. As long as the power of the attacker is equal to or greater than, the attack is successful. See if I have anything I can play here to counter that. I do not, so my creature is destroyed. But I do not take any life point damage, as I was not attacked directly at least.
Boo.
And then in the final phase, you can play an impact card, which the impact cards I've seen at least, but she has one here that was in her gauge. You probably can't read it from there, but it has a cast cost of 2 gauge. You can only play this card if you do not have a monster in the center, which she does, so she wouldn't be able to play it. And for this turn, she would give 1 weapon, which doesn't have anyway, on the field, plus 4,000 power, and plus 2 critical, and penetrate, which if it destroys a monster in the center, as she did, it would still do the damage to me as well. So for instance, if her monster had penetrate, he would have died, and it would have taken the critical of 4 and be down to 6 life points. So impact cards can be very powerful. I have one that does 4 damage if they have 4 or less damage, and essentially should end the game. So, but as I said, that's the end of her turn, correct?
Correct.
So, I stand anything that's tapped, which I don't have anything right now, and draw a card. I may then play a monster to the gauge. Or any card, sorry. I will gauge and draw. Interesting. Alright, and now I'm gonna go on the offensive here, the best that I can anyway. She's got 8,000 defense on that guy in the middle, which I need to surpass that to do anything. So this is going to be an all-out war here. So I'm going to cast that size 1 monster who's got a whopping 2,000 attack, but 6,000 defense, so that much is good. I got this 1,000 Rapier Dragon, which has 5,000 power, and is also a size 1, so up to 2 size. So I'm going to play one more size 1 monster, or size 0 if I wish. And I will play my Systematic Dagger Dragon, which has power of 3,000 and critical of 2. And now I get to do, as I preluded to earlier, a link attack.
How dare you?
Which, hopefully I'm not doing this wrong, because I haven't seen any examples of using more than 2 for a link attack. So I could be cheating.
Yeah, let's not do that then.
Let me reference the rule book here quickly about link attacks. So I'm going to read right from here. The powerful link attack. The defending monster's defense is so high that cannot be beaten. 8,000 can't be beaten. In such situations, put 2 or more cards to rest instead. The total power of these cards will be combined into a single attack. A link attack can be performed with monsters and items as well. So I'm going to link attack 1, 2, 3 monsters at her 1 with power of 3,000 and 2,000 is 5,000 plus another 5,000 is 10,000. 10,000 power at your 8,000.
I hate you.
And I assume you have no cards you can play to stop that then? I know you mentioned cards need engage that you had in your hand, so.
That one needs one.
So you had to pay 3 gauge to play him, and now you have no gauge to save him.
Shut up. Clearly, I'm new and didn't think ahead. Nope.
And gauge can be a very precious resource, so while monsters like that are obviously very powerful and are hard to take down, it limits your options going forward too. So pros and cons to everything you may do within the game. So obviously, since you put in the drop zone, nothing that you can do to stop that. My monsters have all attacked. Nothing else I can do. I have no impact cards that are usable. So my turn is over. So Penguin Chick 86 draws her card. And then she can finally get a card back in the gauge. Which she probably wants to do. And then draw a new card. And that completes her start phase, and she re-enters the main phase now, where she can play monsters, equip items, and play spells.
Can you only gauge one thing at a time?
Yes.
Okay.
Like I said, I think there's more cards coming out where like it says when you call this monster, you may gauge a card. But in these trial decks, I don't think there's any way possible for us to get more than the 1 gauge and draw per turn.
Okay, well, I better build up my shields again a little bit here. Show monsters. Now, does it matter if I have like the more powerful one will want to be in this one, right?
You probably want the one with the highest blue number, which is the defense. Because if you want to be shielded, that's the number that'll matter when I'm attacking
And
you.
then this doesn't matter, like what side it's on?
Correct. Left and right doesn't matter.
I don't know where the best vision is for them, but I'm gonna go here.
And if you guys probably can't see it, my guys have defense of 3,000, 6,000, and 1,000. So I put the one with the highest defense in my center, which she has now as well with a 6,000 defense of her own. But hers is more powerful with 5,000 attack. Mine only has 2,000. Not fair. And the other monster she called here has 7,000 power and a critical of 3 and defense of 3,000. So he's very good on the attack, but not as good on the defense of 3,000.
And I can't do anything more without more than 1 gauge, so.
And the only other monster you could play at this point would be a size 0 monster since your current total is at 3.
Correct. So now I can attack, correct?
Yes. Now what's the best way to go about that?
That I don't know.
And he's a 6,000 defense, so he can't attack him directly by himself. So I don't think you're going to have any way to be able to attack my flag this turn.
So perhaps I want to focus on these guys?
If I was you, I want him to survive and hopefully be able to use his critical of 3 on me in a future turn. And since he's got 3,000 defense, you probably want to try to clear my field of anything that has higher than 3,000 attack power, 3,000 or greater, as they could turn around and destroy him on my next turn otherwise. So he's a 5,000, he could destroy him. He's a 3,000, Ty goes the attacker, he can destroy him. 2,000 cannot. So if you can destroy these two monsters, and I have nothing in my hand that I can call that can destroy him, that'd be good for you. Obviously you don't know what's in my hand. I'll show our viewers what's in my hand. So, but you have no idea what's in my hand at this point, so.
So.
But if you destroy both of these two, and I don't get any strong monsters out, you're in pretty decent shape going forward.
Okay. So I can use him, like I can use any one of them to...
Yeah.
Okay. So if he's... What number am I looking at on here? I always forget.
The red number is your power, which for you is 5,000. So he can destroy him, who's got 3,000 defense, or him who's 1,000 defense. She can't destroy him because he has 6,000 defense.
And I want to keep... Wait, I can still attack with him though, right?
Yeah.
And who can I attack with him?
He can destroy any of my 3 creatures. Monsters.
Okay. So what would you do? Sorry.
Like I said, since he's got 3,000 or 3 critical, he's very good for you offensively.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to do what you can to hope that he can attack this turn and survive for another turn, since you won't be able to attack me directly this turn.
Okay, so...
And he's got 3,000 defensive power, so you want to leave me with no monsters that have 3,000 attack power, the red number or higher.
So this one.
So this is the only guy I have that has less than 3,000. So this guy can't kill him, so you're not worried about him right now.
So
your goal right now is to destroy these 2 monsters in whatever way possible.
And wouldn't that be to have him do him and then him do him?
Either order would suffice. Because their defense is 3 and 1, your attack is 5 and 7. So they're both stronger than both of my guys.
There's a lot of numbers to deal with. Okay, well, this guy attacks whoever makes sense to attack, I guess.
Also, if you attack him, he's 3,000 defense.
Okay. And then
He's
this
gone.
guy attacks the other one then.
This one?
Yes.
So 7,000 to 1,000, he is definitely destroyed.
Alright, and...
So then that completes your attack phase. You can enter the final phase. You can play an impact card, but
I don't have...
pretty sure the only impact card that is in that deck is not usable right now, as I showed you guys earlier. So my turn then?
I think so.
So then I stand my 1 remaining tapped creature, monster, and I draw. Uh-oh!
Really?
I can then play a card to my gauge if I want. It's optional. I guess I will. Play a gauge and draw a card. I wish I could gauge that card instead. Okay, so now I enter my main phase. I can play monsters. I have a size 1 already, so I can play up to size 2 additional. I will play a size 2 monster, which is what I do at the start of my turn, which is strong enough where I will be able to destroy her devastating critical 3 monster, which mine also is, by the way. However, let's see. So we're both still at 10 life, which is interesting. All the games I've seen happen for this so far have gone very quickly, and people start dying very quickly, but we've gotten high, powerful defensive guys early in this game.
I nullified your stuff, man.
Yeah, jerk.
Whatever, you killed my main dude. I spent all my gauge.
So I would like my guy to survive, since he's got 3 critical. I want to be able to, do damage to my opponent. But he's only got 4,000 defense, and they both have more than 4,000 attack. And I can't destroy both of them because he's got a whopping 6,000 power. So, since he's my biggest threat, I think I just need to attack. I might as well link attack, since it doesn't really matter, just in case she has something that reduces my attack or something. So I'll link attack both together for 2 and 5 for a total of 7,000 against your 3,000 defense. Well, I could have destroyed that one. It only has 1 critical, while he has 3, and I don't want to start taking big damage if I don't have to. So I don't have any impacts to play or anything else, so that will end my turn. So she stands and draws, and then she may gauge and draw.
Let's see. So, say you got the same monster in your hand.
Yep.
Can you play him?
Yes.
Okay.
You could have 3 of the same on the field if you had all the cards.
Okay.
And in case you aren't aware, just for the buddy stuff, if you have a card that says My Buddy on the bottom, that acts as your buddy as well, for the trial decks at least.
Where would it say that?
Where the names are, like this is Rising Foot Dragon, it would say My Buddy.
Gotcha.
And it's, I think, a size 1 monster with 1,000 attack, 1,000 defense, and 1 critical. So it's got horrible stats, it's basically like a proxy. A legal proxy.
Okay, let's see. So I guess I can throw this monster out here because why not?
Did you want to gauge and draw first?
Yeah, that's what it was.
So that's part of your start phase.
Sorry.
So before you play any monsters, equip items, or play spells, you want to do your draw and your gauge and draw if you so choose. With a monster in your center, if you have items, unless it's one that you plan on using soon, that would be a good one to gauge.
Well, things. Yeah.
If you have 2 of the same impact card, you typically only go play 1 impact in a game at most, so.
And between 2 gauge gauge cards.
Okay.
Whether I'd want the item or the spell.
Well, her item here has a equip cost of paying 2 gauge, so it's expensive, and she only has 1 gauge right now. And her spell here, you may cast this card if you have a weapon equipped, and you do not have a monster in the center. Gain 4 life. The amount of life you gain is reduced by the number of invigorating breath you have in your drop zone. So this is a good way for her to gain life, but
I don't really need to.
and I'm assuming this is your only item in your hand right now?
Yeah.
So right now, both cards are useless,
But
but it's... I'd probably put the item in there just because you have a monster in the center, and it's more likely you draw another item than it is that specific spell card. There's should be almost 4 spells in the deck, and I think there's like 6 or 7 items total in the deck. What do you like? Oh, you have 1 in the drop zone, I see.
yes.
So, if you're able to play that card, you would gain 3 life.
But I don't really need life. But this one, in my opinion,
3 life is a lot.
in my very rookie opinion on this, I feel like this one could possibly be useful in the future, but
Yeah.
this one less so.
If my guy in the center here wasn't a 6,000 power and you didn't have a guy in the center, basically if you could destroy what's here, this would be great because it's got penetrate and can attack me directly too then. Mm-hmm. There's not really any great right or wrong answer, especially since you already have 1 of that 1 card in here. But if you do play the spell into your gauge and then you pay gauge for something else that goes to drop zone, now you have 2 of it in there. If you do draw it later, it's only going to gain you 2 life. Because every time 1 goes in there, it reduces its ability a little bit. So it's got diminishing returns.
I think I'm just going to put the item in the gauge just because it costs to play it, and I don't have things to...
And that way, if you end up drawing the impact card and stuff, that leaves the option of playing that when it becomes usable and stuff like that as well. So I'm not sure there's really a right or wrong answer there. It depends.
Which means I can draw.
Yep. And I bet you drew the same card. Or yep, that's a good thing. You would have been more upset if you put the other card in the gauge. You had 2 of the same item in your hand. The luck of the draw. You never know what you're gonna get.
Stupid. Okay.
So now you can start playing monsters and items and spells.
Well, I'll throw him out here because he'll do something out there instead of sitting in my hand.
And you have 1 spot left for size 0-1 if you had 1.
I don't have one.
Okay.
Or else I would do that. Let's see. I can't do that one because I don't have a weapon. Granted, I can play the weapon now because I have the gauge to play it.
But you won't be able to attack with the weapon because you have a guy in the middle.
But I have this other.
So you almost want me to destroy him in a way, especially since you're at 10 life and stuff.
Well, this guy is making it so I can't play the 1 card I could play. So,
There's a lot of cards that can be played if you or your opponent, or neither you or your opponent, have a monster in the center. So there's pros and cons to everything you may do. Have a monster in the center makes it so I can't attack her directly, but it limits her card options.
so now, does it make sense to put the item on my thing now? Can't really.
Well, you don't know it. I don't think my deck has any cards that can discard a card from your hand, and you may draw a card that needs gauge that you can use sooner. So the fact that I'd leave you with no gauge, I'd probably just hold on to it for now.
Alright, nothing more to do with those then, so attack phase begins now. Sorry.
Bring it.
So, they're the same exact monster. So,
You have 5,000 power, and my defenses are 6,000 in the center and 4,000 to the right.
So really I can just attack both of yours, correct?
No.
No? What?
Because he's a 6,000 defense, and you're 5,000 power.
Oh god, I was... Okay. So...
So you may do what I did last turn, if you
I don't
remember.
remember what you did last turn.
Well, I didn't need to. I did a link attack to destroy your guy that had 3 critical.
So...
Because he's more of a threat.
So what number am I looking at for you? The blue
4,000.
number? Okay, blue.
The blue.
And I've got... Well, can't I just get rid of this guy with this guy?
The reason I say link attack, because he can't attack him by himself anyway, unless you have a card to
together
use.
To get rid of this guy?
I still get rid of him because he's the bigger threat. At least on my offensive, because of the 3, and he's got stronger power. He's got 2,000, he can't do much by himself. He can't kill either of your guys unless I play another monster or have abilities.
So
you're basically weakening my offense. So the reason I say do a link attack, I may have a card that nullifies one guy or weakens one guy, where the attack may fail and make the other guy die otherwise.
okay.
But I guess since they can both go through, it doesn't matter too much.
I'll link them.
I don't really know if that's right or wrong, and it's not. I will die. And then final phase, you can play an impact card, but I don't think you can.
Nope.
Even if you had one. Stand and draw. I will then play a gauge. I'm up to 6 gauge and draw. This is the longest game I've played of 2 or 3. Yes, I've played so many. Well, can't play that because I have too much life. Can't play that. Can't play that. My hand is very useful right now with no monsters. My guy's got 2,000 attack and she has 6,000 defense. So I have a miserable turn and I pass.
Cool. I draw. Ooh. Let's gauge some stuff. Oh, crud. Can you just kill him?
I can't. The one thing I was trying to find in the rulebook, you can play monsters in place of ones that are already in the field, but I don't know if she can just get rid of him and play another monster elsewhere. That's what I'm not positive. I was trying to find the rulebook, but I couldn't find that, so I'll have to research that further. If anyone knows the answer to that, please comment and let us know. It'd be much appreciated. Once she figures out her gauge, I'll see if I can find anything else useful here in the rulebook.
Well, I might as well just get rid of this one because it's not gonna do me any good right now.
Q&A to difficult situations.
Actually, I may have just done something against the rules.
Oh,
I gauged something and then I put it back.
we're learning, so I will allow it.
I didn't draw though, so.
If it was a tournament situation, someone may call a judge on you and make you be in trouble. So the first question, the question Q&A on here. I have a monster with size 2 in my center area. Is it possible to call a size 2 monster on my left or right area? Yes, you may. However, as the total size of the monsters in the field becomes 4, put the monster from before into the drop zone. You are not allowed to have monsters of total size more than 3. So while it's not the exact situation here, I believe it would be okay. If you have a level 2 monster in your hand, especially, you could for sure play it here, and then you have to get rid of him to be at 3 or less.
Yeah, I don't have that going.
If you only have a great level 1, size 0-1 monster, I'm not sure if you can just get rid of him then. But if you have a size 2 monster, that'd be a way for you to make him go away yourself.
Now this weapon that I have, that means that even though these two are out there, I can still penetrate you, right?
Since he's there, I don't think you can attack with any weapons.
But it doesn't say that.
Technically, you'd be attacking him first, I think. I don't know if you actually can, though. All I know is that in the anime they said, they asked in one of the episodes too, can I attack with my monster in the center? No, because you'd basically be attacking him in the back, which
Couldn't
isn't
he
good.
just step to the side for a little bit?
I don't think you can just move him around.
I mean,
unfortunately. you wish, but yeah.
Let's
Can't.
see. Oh, once again, I can't really do anything with these guys without... Uh-oh,
Okay.
did I not stand these?
Oh, yeah, always stand before you draw. I thought you had
Yeah,
that down.
I did. I can't do anything with that monster in the center, so...
You can destroy me.
Yeah, why don't have me do that?
Do what you did last turn. Zinc attack.
Wow.
So 5,000 attack plus 5,000 attack is 10,000.
Goodbye.
That's well higher than my 6,000. One thing I need to find out for sure. I think semi defense it's still a blue number even though he's not tapped, but I'm not 100% positive. So I'll look into that as well. So if you guys know that as well, comment. Let me know. If a monster that's being attacked is not tapped, do you go by the red or the blue number? Let me know. Anything else you can do?
I don't think so.
I'm amazed no one has done any damage yet, but it's not looking good for me right now.
Good.
The only good thing for me is that you guys only have critical of 1 right now. So, I stand, check, draw. Ooh, something I can actually do.
No!
Sweet. And I will, I guess I'll gauge and draw. See if I can get some useful monsters. Alright. Oh, that works. Okay. Okay. It's time for a buddy call!
Oh my god.
So, I drew a Rising Flare Dragon. So I'm gonna buddy call. I play that tapped, and I can bring him out. Where do I want to bring him? I might as well bring him to the center. He has a call cost of paying 2 gauge, so we'll do that. There's the last 2 cards I
Nice to
gauge.
have all that gauge.
Well, I haven't used any gauge until now. And then his effect. When this card enters the field, destroy an opponent's size 2 or less monster on the field. While it may benefit you more, I don't know what's in your hand, technically. At least I should, but we're learning, so I do. I will destroy your monster in the center so I can actually do things to you.
Yay.
Since I have 5,000 attack and she has 6,000 defense, I can't attack and destroy it otherwise. So I'll actually be able to get some use out of him. And since that buddy called, I get to gain a life. So I can actually take this out and flip it around to go to 11.
Oh gosh.
Woo! Does that mean I'm winning?
Yeah, it does.
I like your game state better though, I think. Based on what I think might be in your hand and such. Nothing else that I can play from my hand, so I will attack you, your flag, directly for critical of 2. To knock you down to 8.
Ouch.
And that is the first attack on an opponent in the game.
No, you attacked me in the beginning, didn't you?
Well, the first successful attack that actually affected life points.
Okay.
And then you may go. And you can only buddy call once per game, just so you know.
Ooh.
So I think he just stays tapped forever down there, so you know that he's buddy called. She just showed me that she has 2 of the same item, so that should make her gauging this turn very easy.
That is true.
So it's not always a bad thing. Makes the gauge easy, and then you
And
get
now
something
I have
better,
some
hopefully.
options too.
And now let's see what you can pull off with that center circle unoccupied. You got 4 gauge to work with.
Well, let's-
Stuff
oh,
made.
Darn it. And this guy might as well be out there.
Okay, so you have a total size of 2 on the field now. The attack strengths of 3 and 5. My defense is 4. for 1,000, but you know, let's assume that's 1,000.
Okay, now I can like do things. Okay. So, what is the best thing to do?
Destroy me and everything I hold dear, like my rising flare dragon that's so nice and sparkly.
Well, very
It's my buddy. Don't destroy my buddy.
Let's see, this costs 2 gauge. If I do the things I want to do, it's going to cost all my gauge again.
Well, depends how beneficial it is, if it's good or not, basically.
I may wait on part of it.
Totally up to you. Since your center circle is unoccupied, it's probably a good idea to get that item going.
So there's that, which makes 2 of my gauge go by.
Yep. That is its equip cost. And if you guys forgot, it has the ability of penetrate, which you'll see in action momentarily. I think.
Yes, you will. You only cast this card if you have a weapon equipped.
You got more to do here in your main phase?
When do spells happen?
Right now in your main phase, you can play any number of spells, as long as whatever conditions they may have.
Well, this one says, I may only cast this card if I have a weapon equipped.
Check.
And you do not have a monster in the center. Check. I gain 4 life. The amount of life you gain is reduced by the number of invigorating breath you have in your drop zone.
I had that card.
Yeah.
And then you had what, 1 or 2 in here?
I don't
That's
know.
not it.
Oh, just like 1, right?
Yeah, so this is invigorating breath, so that means you gain 1 less than that, so you gain 3 life for playing it.
Well, I don't really need that much life anyways.
Well, so you go to 11 to match me.
Ooh. Okay, okay. Get in there. Alright.
And what else did it do? Anything? Did it gain critical or power or anything?
I gain 4 life. No, that's pretty much it.
Okay.
So there's that.
Nothing in the center, you gain 4 life. Okay. It's a good life gainer.
So then I do that.
Yep.
And then...
Card is used
Why
up.
do I only have 1 card in my hand right now?
It's very possible.
And then I don't even need to use this right now.
Okay.
So I can attack you.
So what is your first attack?
What do you mean?
What are you going to use to attack first?
Well, wouldn't I use the item?
Yep. Just wanted to see if you knew from experience here throughout our game here.
So...
Do you know why you want to attack with the item first?
No.
Since it has penetrate,
It goes straight to the...
well,
Sorry.
I'll just read the card here. So penetrate, if this card attacks and destroys your opponent's monster in the center, so you'll attack with it, and you're attacking my monster in the center, you have 5,000 attack, and I have 4,000 defense, so he will destroy him. That's important. And so if it attacks and destroys, which it will, this card deals damage equal to its critical to your opponent. So in a way, it's a double attack. So you attack my monster, 4,000 is weaker than 5,000, so he is destroyed. And then the critical power of 2 inflicts to me / my flag, so I go down from 11 to 9. However,
Ugh.
I'm gonna just backtrack a little bit here because I was playing and not paying attention to my own hand. I will play Green Dragon Shield. You may only cast this card during an attack on your opponent's turn, and if you do not have a monster in the center. I need to read the card. So yeah, he dies then, and I take 2 damage at once.
Yeah.
So I go from 11 down to 9. I'm good at reading.
Not so much.
Okay. Did you want to do anything else?
Let me see. Let's see.
Like, attack more?
Oh. Sure.
Since I have, nothing on the field.
Well, does it matter what order it happens in?
No.
So, bam.
So that does 1 critical. I'll take that one. I go down to 8.
And then another bam.
And that's got critical at 2. Now I have no monster in the center, so now I'll play Green Dragon Shield. I'll cancel that one, and I'll go back up to 9 life.
So
you still live.
Okay.
It just nullifies the attack. So I don't get damaged. Does that complete your turn?
Well, hold on.
Oh no.
Well, I feel weird not having any cards after this.
So you're in the final phase where you can play an impact card.
So this.
However, remember, I think the impact card I do have has to have a weapon that's not tapped.
Well, is that what that arrow thingy means?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, then yeah, I'm done.
So if your weapon was like that right now, you could play it.
I see.
But yeah, it says it has to be stood, basically, which it's not.
Okay, then I'm done.
Okay. I stand. I don't stand him because I buddy called, so he stays like that. I draw. This is going to be pitiful, but oh well. 5,000 and 3,000. I will. So you're at 11 life. Jeez. I'll gauge that one and draw. Jeez. I call my buddy to the center! Which, as I explained, the trial deck you should have one My Buddy card, which can be used for buddy calling. So I've already done that. The only use he has is going out to the field. And he's got minimal stats. Size 1, attack 1,000, defense 1,000, critical of 1.
Is that what you draw?
Huh?
Is that what you drew?
That's what I drew for the turn. Not what I drew for my gauge. I drew something that was already in my hand.
Oh, even better.
So, on the bright side, he can actually attack you directly for 1.
Ooh.
You're gonna take it, huh?
Well, why not?
So you go to 10.
I don't really have any other options, by the way.
Yeah, I guess I knew that. I wish I could do more, but I cannot. Your turn.
Stand, stand, and stand.
You're gonna die, my buddy. You're gonna die.
Okay, well,
Unless I draw some nice things here, I think I'm gonna lose pretty quickly now.
I'm gonna go ahead and put him in there.
Him?
It, whatever, card. They all have a character on the front that I was referring to.
Yeah, even the spell's got a him. Who I think is the bad guy, as was prelude to at the end of the 4th episode.
I guess it's gonna be okay. That's nice to have. And alright. Ooh, now I can use my impact card, because So I'm going to use this impact card, which costs.
That impact is your final phase.
Okay, well I don't have. Oh, I guess I have to attack you with my guys out here, don't I?
If you want
Sorry. Well, yeah.
Okay.
I just forget about this part, which is probably the most critical part of the game.
And you can always refer to on the sheet here. Just follow the step by step.
So
Your start phase done. You're in the main phase. You can play monsters, equip items, and cast
So
spells.
either one of these kills him.
Yeah, anything in the game kills him because I don't think anything has a 0 attack.
Is there anything that's better to use against that?
Oh. He's better at attack my flag because he's got a higher critical.
Well, I'll use this guy to attack your little buddy.
So you're at 5,000 attack and we're 1,000 defense. I'm just going to show the audience. I have 2 of that in my hand, but I don't think I can play both, which I'd have to make it do anything. So I'm just not going to, and I'll just let it happen.
And then I use...
No, it wouldn't have worked on him anyway, because he's not an armored dragon.
You gotta read, man.
I assumed everything in this deck was an armored dragon, but he's a special buddy.
Now this attacks your flag.
And I go down to 7.
I'm at 10.
Good for you.
Thank you.
Now you can either attack with your weapon or enter your final phase where you can play impact cards. Which is what I think you want to do.
Yes.
Based on what you've started trying to do already.
Well, the sword weapon thing he doesn't seem to do as much as I can.
So basically, read what the card says to our audience and explain what you're doing as you do it.
It costs 2 gauge.
So 2 gauge, go bye-bye.
Going to drop. And it says, you may only cast this card if you do not have a monster in the center.
Check.
For this turn, give one of your weapon on the field power of 4,000. So my weapon that has, is that 5,000?
Yep.
So it's got 9,000 now.
It gains the 4,000.
And then the plus critical 2, so it's got 4 critical power. And then I can penetrate if the weapon is upright like it is now and attack with it. So.
And that card already has penetrate, so that part doesn't matter. And I have no monster in the center, so the penetrate part doesn't matter, but it does extra damage, which is always good.
Yes. So.
So you play your impact card.
Oh, I don't know where to put them.
It goes to the drop zone as you use it, basically.
Okay.
And then do as you normally would attack in there. So 4 to me. Can't do anything about that. I go down to 3. Dun dun dun. So once you run out of resources, you can die very fast. Anything else for you then? That should be it.
Yeah, because that was the final phase, so.
Yeah. So I draw. I gauge and draw. I play such a strong monster. Bear Trap Fame Dragon. He's a size 1. I feel so strong. Do I want to do that? I don't think I do want to do that right now. Although I could. But I won't. Because I like the other cards in my hand. Might help me survive one turn, which is all I may need to. He's got 5,000 defense.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got critical 2. And he's got 6,000 defense. So my only option with my 4,000 attack is to attack you directly for 2.
This one? Oh,
Attack
this
you
one.
directly.
Oh, okay, so I'm down to 8.
If you're at 10, yeah.
Yep.
That's sadly all I can do.
Okay.
Your turn.
Draw.
Oh,
Too late.
I keep forgetting about the having things in center potentially being negative.
Oh, well. Oh. I could have not gotten attacked.
Oh well.
Oh, I'm gonna put that in the cage. Okay.
Can she do 3 damage to defeat me?
I don't think so.
Basically, you need 2 of your 3 attacks to hit me directly.
Well, I can do a spell here that costs me 1 gauge. You may only cast this card if you do not have a monster in the center, which I don't. And I destroy a size 1 or 2 monster on the field.
That seems useful. So, who are you gonna destroy?
I think this one.
Okay. That may clinch it for you.
Yeah, no, I can't really use that. This is your turn.
If you didn't do that, then if you attacked in a good order, I think you would have won regardless as well.
I think so too. So, I get to just attack you directly with these guys, right?
Yep.
Oh wait, do I get to use this guy too if I want?
You can use anything and everything.
So, what order does it matter?
Doesn't matter so much now that I have no monster on the field.
Well, let's hit you with my weapon, item, whatever you call it. So that's 2.
Actually, I think I will survive. Hooray.
How dare you?
Green Dragon Shield! Which I
Okay.
can't play if I have a monster in the center. So it nullifies that attack, and I gain 1 life to go to 4.
Okay, well now I'm gonna attack you with this 2.
So I go from 4 down to 2.
And now you go down to 3. Or 1, sorry.
Yep.
I was adding.
1 is the loneliest number. Anything else from you?
I don't think so.
Okay. My turn. I draw. Okay, that's okay. Let's see. I will... Cool. I will gauge and draw. Cool. So, cast cost, pay 1 gauge. Destroy a monster on the field with 4,000 power or less. I destroy. What's happening?
You may only cast this card during an attack on your opponent's turn, and if you do not have a master in the center, I nullify the attack.
This is not an attack.
What is it?
It's a spell.
What? Okay.
Haha! Destroy!
Whatever.
And then I will call out my buddy, technically. Don't like that your weapon has penetrate. I guess I'll play him there. And then I'll play another spell. You may only cast this card if you have 5 life or less. I have 1. Discard your entire hand. That is my hand. Then draw 3 cards. And I can only play that card once per turn. So I draw another one, I can't do it again. So 1, 2, 3. And of course I drew another one.
So now, good thing, because I was going to ask this anyways. So if it comes up in your hand, do you have to just keep it there and not be able to play it? Or can you discard it and get another one instead?
For that, in this particular case?
Yeah. Because it says you can't play it again, so it's a dead card.
I can use it next turn or gage it next turn, but right now it's a dead card in my hand.
Okay.
I'd love to just throw it away and draw something else, but I can't. Now I wish he was a level 1, because I drew another size 2 monster, and I can't have them both on the field. This one's better to an extent, but well, I'm at 1 life. So the only way for me to possibly survive next turn is actually to replace him already. Like so.
So you're able to replace him because he's got the same white.
Yeah, I could have played him over here and got rid of him because I can have a size of 4 total. And then I will attack him. Oh yeah, I knew you had that. I shouldn't have known you had it, so. Well, I think I lose now. Your turn. Would you like to gauge that card?
Well, it's the same card.
Well, you can either play it on the field or you can gauge it for a new card. And you should stand him.
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
Did it get better?
Slightly.
No fair.
Discard one. What is a soul?
This guy has soul when he's played. When he's played, you put a top card from your deck underneath him for his soul. People who play Vanguard are probably more familiar with what soul is. And if I attack him, instead of him going away, he can get rid of his soul. So he has like an extra life in a way, if he was in a video game or something.
Okay. Let's see.
But yeah, right now none of your things have soul. They're all soulless. Soulless monsters.
I guess I don't really get it.
So if you can buddy call.
Oh.
I thought it was a spell or something that involved soul.
No.
So just so you get to experience it, do your buddy call like I did previously.
I have to say buddy call?
Well, do you remember how to perform the buddy call?
No, I don't.
So the card in your hand, you put where your current buddy is, but tapped. And then you call him out to any open spot. Wise.
Yeah.
And then, so his first act ability, you may put a size 1 or less armor knight from your field into this monster's soul. So if you want, you can put him in his soul, and then he has act of full fire. You may discard 1 soul from this monster if you do destroy a monster on your opponent's field. But since he's a 5,000, you can destroy him anyway. Doesn't do much good. If you had the level 0-2, you could put him in there, put him in the soul, and then discard it to destroy him or something. But so right now it's not going to do much, and since you should win this turn, that's not a big deal. Otherwise he'd have soul guard. If I attacked him and he had a guy in his soul, you could discard the soul instead of making him die.
Okay.
But right as it is, you basically have an extra attacker to increase your chances further of getting this victory.
I can penetrate you instead, right?
Yep. That's probably the best way to go about it too.
So
I'm just reading the card in my hand here. So I I don't think I can play. I'm just going to explain it to people. I have Drago Energy, which is a counter. I can choose an Armored Dragon, which my guy is, in battle, which he is. And for the battle, give him plus 3,000 power and plus 3,000 defense. So you'd be at 7,000 defense, which is more than her weapon, item, whatever it is. And counter attack. If this monster is still in the field after an attack, which I guess he would be since 7,000 more than 5,000, he wouldn't die. Choose a monster that attacked. Well, it's not a monster attacking, is the thing. With defense less than or equal to this monster power, destroy it. So, if you attacked with this one first, for instance, it's got a 5,000. I play this, I go to 7,000. He survives and destroys him. Since it's a weapon, I don't think I can play it. So, if I can play it, he may live, but I'm not sure. Either way, you're going to get there. So even if it works, and he survives, and that doesn't work,
These guys.
he can kill him, and then he hits my flag and wins. So.
So I just won.
So, regardless of whether or not I can play that, even if that is useful, this isn't going to do anything right now, I lose. So, you win the game. I'm sorry that took, I don't know how long, as I can't see the timer, but I'm sure it took a while, since that was a defensive, drawn-out game that is not the norm for this. Usually, most games only take 3 to 4 turns for each player, and based on my gauge, and I paid gauge, I think I had like 7 or 8 turns, so that was about double the length of a standard game, I think. But if you guys have any questions, or if I did anything wrong, please comment and correct me, ask your questions, respond to questions, and read anything I did wrong and correct it going forward. Otherwise, please subscribe, like this video. I'm sorry we couldn't make it any shorter, really. And if you're interested in this game, we have trial decks on cardfightcapital.com. We have the booster set boxes available for pre-order. Releases January 31st. And once that comes in, we'll be opening up some of that as well. And we'll have singles on the website at that point as well. So, thank you all for watching. And I'll see you all next video.